How's it going, everyone? Hope you're having a lovely evening. It is 8:53 p.m. Central Standard Time here in Wisconsin, and you are watching Nintendo Prime Live. Now, Nintendo Prime Live is a show we've done kind of sporadically over the months here since I started doing it, probably back in January. And I am attempting to do something. I don't want to make any guarantees, but Monday through Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., I am planning to run Nintendo Prime Live. Yes, that means it is a daytime show, and Nintendo Prime Live is a show where we talk about news, and we have a Q&A, and we just shoot the crap and have fun. I am debating on one of those days changing to a night stream. So I don't know. Like, these are just brainstorming ideas I have for this show. I've been clearing this stuff up with my significant other as well, and sorting out our schedules to try to make this work and make it viable, because I love this show. It is a show I do not do often enough. I think there is plenty of reason for me to do it every single day. It can replace the Q&As, because Q&As can happen in the show, and it gives you something to look forward to. So it is something that is currently under debate about if we're going to be able to pull it off 5 days a week, but that is the goal. And again, one of those streams I want to make at night for our nighttime viewers. And anytime we stream at night, it will be considered a prime time stream. That's right, we're bringing back prime time. So prime time basically means that all super chats and donations equal shots, period. Will not happen on the 4 to 6 p.m. one, but if we have one at night, like now, which is about 9 p.m., yes, that will be shots, and it'll be like once a week. Also, made a big change to how we do music requests. For right now, any super chat or donation, whether it's $1, $2, $5, $10, $20, it doesn't matter how much you want to give. You can request a video game music, in particular Nintendo music, and it will play in the background during the stream. There's no more, putting in like a set limit on a paywall, like $5 or whatever. It's just, hey, look, if you want some music to play, you can have some music play for cheap. So that being said, let's just get right into this episode. And first start off by welcoming every single person here that is currently watching or has at least said something in the chat. So first off, welcome Juan Castillo, Universal Juan, Sonic Man the Best, D-Dub, Ultimate Keymaster, Simon Peters, Cody Shadley, SSS Chronic, let's see here, scrolling down, Philip is here, Brennan Stryker is here, John is here, or was here. He says, I'm not going to be watching the stream because I am taking all precautions to not spoil Endgame. Well, we won't be talking about Endgame. So, don't have to worry about that. I only really allow spoilers to be talked about for things that we are actually talking about. We are not talking about Endgame, and I don't know if there's any mods here, but if they are, I will instruct them to delete any comments that come up about Endgame, because we are not talking about that in the stream. I have seen it, by the way, but we won't be talking about it. So anyone who asks questions about it, we're going to refuse to answer those questions. All right, Clayton Miller is here as well. Ackelmane is here. Jeez. Let's see here. All right. Anyone else that wants to drop those kind of spoilers, I'm just going to ban you moving forward, so I'm not even going to go to the timeout. All right. Now, how does this show work? Basically, I have a whole bunch of news topics we go over. I bring up the topic, I bring up what the news is, and then you guys can ask questions about that news, and we can kind of create a dialogue and a discussion about that news, and we'll kind of go in order of whatever it says in the headline. So the first one is that there is a hiring spree happening for Metroid Prime 4. That should let you know, like, some of the spots they're hiring for, it's like really early in development. I know some people were theorizing, they've been working on this for a while and all this. It doesn't really look at it. Like, when you open up the career page, let's see if I could show you this here. I gotta put this in front of my video capture here. I'm just gonna full screen this here for you. So here's the Retro Studios hiring page, and it'll be like, hey, join Retro means becoming part of the team. And like they're looking for like art directors, right? Like they're looking for let's go back here. They're looking for a product tester, art outsourcing, level 3 IT engineer, gameplay engineer, lead external environment, lead character artist, cinematic artist, graphics engineer. Like a lot of these are like job specific to Metroid Prime. Like, and you click in and go through the job openings, it's about Metroid Prime 4. And to be hiring, hey, thank you so much, Y2 Wrestling Prime Time. Thank you so much. So the big thing with Metroid Prime, obviously, is that it was announced earlier this year that it was starting development over again with Retro Studios. So this leads me to believe like we're not getting Metroid Prime for like 3 years. Like it's 2021 at the earliest. That's what I'm thinking anyways, because they're hiring a ton of people for a project, and they're hiring like core developer kind of people. So whatever, man. Cheers, Y2 Wrestling. How's it going? It's prime time. All right. So, what do you guys think about this Metroid Prime stuff, this Retro Studios stuff, the hiring they're doing? Philip brings up a question here. He says, the real question should be, why are they hiring anybody? Retro has more than enough people working there to make Metroid Prime 4. Here's something to consider. Retro Studios has not made an HD video game that wasn't a side-scroller yet. So think about that for a moment. They have not made an HD video game that isn't a side-scroller yet. They are a Western developer. So something tells me that in making an HD first-person shooter, or however they approach this Prime game, we assume it's going to be first-person like the other 3 Prime games, in 3D worlds and all this, that they realize they need more people. And so they're hiring more people. The big thing to remember, Philip, is that Retro's losing staff members every single year. They don't just like keep the same people. Like people work on a project and they leave. So Retro Studios might have enough people to make Metroid Prime 4, but they need more. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is extremely normal in the process of game development, especially in the West, to consistently hire more people. Breath of the Wild started out with just the Zelda team, and then later on added in the people from Monolith Soft. So this isn't uncommon, but Retro Studios doesn't have like another studio like Nintendo of Japan does to draw from. Like Nintendo of Japan could have, the Mario team working on something and bring people in from the Mario Kart or the Splatoon team to help finish off something with Mario. Retro Studios doesn't have any other studio. Nintendo has one wholly owned Western studio. That's Retro Studios. That means to get help, to get more manpower to make the game or finish the game or progress the game, they have to hire people. So it's a lot different than Nintendo of Japan that can shuffle staff around from multiple teams to get things done. Retro Studios doesn't have that luxury. They have to bring in more staff. So it's actually extremely normal through the process of developing a game to hire a lot of people. And the amount of people that are hiring right now does tell you that it has to be early in development. If they were this far along in hiring these sort of key developers, a lead character artist, a lead cinematic artist, that's early. Like, this is early development. Metroid Prime 4 probably didn't even start development until either the end of last year or beginning of this year. Guaranteed at Retro Studios. All they did was they put together that demo for Nintendo, and Nintendo took however long to decide, Retro Studios, you're going to handle it. And now they got to hire all the people they need to actually do that. So that's the way I'm viewing these hirings anyways. Feel free to disagree. Let me bring up the proper chat here and also make sure that I have the Twitch chat on screen. Sonic Man the Best is similar to Rockstar Games. Online is an exception. Retro Studios does not do yearly releases. I want to say Retro Studios is like the Rockstar of Nintendo. I mean, I guess that's a fair... You know what? I noticed I'm going in and out blurriness. Let me turn on my studio lights here. I had them off. I was hoping I could keep them off because it's a little toasty in this room. But I think my camera's focus will work better if I leave them on. All right. Let me see here. D-Dub says, I think Metroid Prime 4 will come out sooner than we think. I'll bet some of the stuff was savable, and now they're hiring to build the bulk of stuff quicker than otherwise would. Well, the thing is, the rumor behind Metroid Prime 4's development is, again, this is all rumored and speculated, is that it was being made by multiple teams at Bandai Namco across the world. And some of the studios made good progress and some didn't, and that's why it wasn't coming together. And that to me just seems like a really bad idea to try to spread out the teams making different parts of the game. I've never found that style of even program development to be that advantageous. So honestly, I think that all that's happening right now is that that Metroid Prime got moved back to the originating studio, and now they're just finishing building out the team for it. And I don't think it's coming anytime soon. I'm 99% sure they just scrapped everything. Because, again, Metroid Prime was being made by multiple different studios according to what we've heard. And with that being the case, that sounds like there isn't really much you're going to salvage out of that. You're going to need to just start all over again. And Nintendo stated they were starting all over again. So, I don't think really much of any of it was salvaged, if I'm being completely honest. And I'm thinking that Retro Studios, the studio that made the original Metroid Prime trilogy, likely doesn't want to use other people's assets. They want to make their own thing. I mean, they're the ones that pitched to Nintendo without even being asked. So, I trust Retro Studios. There's no reason for us not to, beyond the fact that it's just been forever since they made a game, or had a game successfully made and come out. I don't know really what's been going on there, but whatever. We'll see Metroid Prime 4 at some point in the future. But just hoping it actually makes this version of Switch and not next gen or something, but we'll see what happens. If Nintendo of Europe has a headquarter in, or is headquartered in Germany, why is, hey, Germany, sprechen the German. I got some German shot glasses here tonight for prime time. It says, why is the R&D and first-party developer system software and films is in France? So, what you have to remember is where a headquarters is has nothing necessarily to do with where your developing studios are per se. I know, obviously, Nintendo in Kyoto, and so are most of their development studios, but there are some development studios that aren't located in Kyoto for Nintendo. And it's kind of like how, I know Retro Studios, it happens to be in Redmond as well as the headquarters for Nintendo of America, but just because that's where the headquarters are doesn't necessarily mean that's where the development studios are going to be. The development studios are going to be formed where the talent's at. And France is actually well known to have a lot of really solid video game developers. There's also sometimes tax reasons for it, different countries, different laws, different taxes, all that kind of stuff. So there's probably a lot of logistics with that. I think the better question is, why is Nintendo's headquarters in Europe in Germany? I don't know why. Probably because it's more centrally located to the whole of Europe, if I had to guess. But when you're talking about, making games and developing things, I mean, you want to go where the talent is. You don't want to make talent come to where you are, because they're going to be, there's a big difference between the French language and the German language, just as an example. So you gotta have your studios where the talent's at. It's not like in the United States where like it's all one. Basically if you speak English, you're fine. But it is what it is. All right. That's not really... By the way, if you have any questions like this, guys, that are unrelated to the current topic, which is Metroid Prime 4, please save them for the end. We will have a Q&A section at the end of our news topics. Let me see here. Metroid Prime 4 is a long ways off. Hopefully Bayonetta 3 isn't a long way off. Bayonetta 3, I think, is next year, but that's not the topic right now. Man, for Nintendo to say something about Luigi's Mansion 3... Man, you guys have a lot of off-topic questions here with Metroid Prime. All right, cool. So I don't think there's anything else to really say other than, hey, look, they're hiring a bunch of people for Metroid Prime. What do you guys think? So let's get into the next topic. This is a big one. The year 2 results for the Nintendo Switch are interesting. Nintendo fell short of their projections. They decreased their projections in January from 20 million to 17. They fell just short of 17 at 16.95 million. But at the same time, they also announced in partnership with Tencent that Switch will be coming to China, just not anytime this year. But they basically are confirmed that Switch at some point in 2020 is going to be in mainland China and not just Hong Kong, which will be a big boost for Nintendo Switch in year 4, not so much year 3. And they also announced a whole bunch of, obviously, software updates, like Super Smash Bros. Is almost at 14 million in sales. What? 14 million? I mean, I know I was crazily throwing out predictions for 15, but I didn't actually think it'd come close to 15. And here we are at like 13.5, 13.6 million units of Smash Bros. Like, what? And like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is almost at 17 million. And here's what's crazy. They have 2 days of sales data for Yoshi's Crafted World, and it sold 1.1 million units in 2 days. I don't know what it is about Switch. Like, I don't know what it is about Nintendo Switch. But for some reason, everything just sells better on Switch. And I don't know everything Nintendo-wise. Like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, best-selling Xenoblade ever. Super Mario Odyssey, I think it's already become the best-selling 3D Mario game of all time. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, best-selling Zelda game of all time by a massive margin, just counting Switch sales, not even counting Wii U in the mix. I think Mario Tennis, I believe, is now the best. Mario Tennis Aces is now the best-selling Mario Tennis game of all time. There's potential that Super Mario Party might eventually become the best-selling Mario Party game of all time. It's definitely on pace to become that. Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee's obviously not on pace to be the best-selling Pokemon game, but still 10+ million units. You can't really, just scoff at that. That's amazing sales. Splatoon 2 is obviously massively outsold the original Splatoon. I don't know what it is. Like, is Fire Emblem 3 Houses going to be setting records too, and we're going to get like 8 million units of that? Are we going to sell 15 million units of Animal Crossing coming up? Is Pokemon Sword and Shield about to cross 30 million? Like, what? I don't know what's happening with all these games on Switch, but they're all selling so well. And I just can't, like, yes, I realize that Nintendo fell short of their hardware. We know that they didn't necessarily kill it with software for most of the fiscal year. But man, all the games coming up, Luigi's Mansion, Daemon X Machina, another new IP. Cadence of Hyrule, for crying out loud, is dropping at some point here in the next month and a half. I'm just at a loss for words. Like, these games and I'm buying a bunch of them, so I'm like part of it. This is the most Nintendo games I've bought this quickly on a platform. It's insane to me. And now Nintendo is being really conservative with their year 3 projections. They're saying 18 million Switches and like, I can't remember what it was, like 125 or 225 million. I know that's a big difference in terms of software. I forget which number it is. And they'll probably exceed that software because like the attach rate on Switch is crazy. It's like 10-1. Like for every one Nintendo Switch system that's sold, there's 10 pieces of software sold. Like that's like the best attach rate in Nintendo history. They've never had an attach rate 10-1. I mean, Wii was 9-1 for crying out loud. So it's got a better attach rate than Wii, and Wii was a damn good attach rate. Like, what? People are just buying games. I mean, what are you going to say? People are buying games. So what are you guys' thoughts about those financial results? You guys got any questions from them? I'm still waiting for the full translation of the entire Q&A. Hey. I'm streaming, remember? Are we going? I told Eric not to worry about it.
Oh, Jesus, fuck. Fine,
No, it's okay. I can get him calm. Just relax. It's funny. I'm in the middle of a stream, and then she's like, hey. Really, hon? What you texted me?
What? She's your favorite.
She's my favorite. No, I'm texting Eric. No. Anyway, sorry. My fiance, guys, you'll find out on live streams, my fiance jumps and gets me all the time. Like, all the time. It doesn't... She was just staring at me, waiting for me to notice. My peripheral vision was failing me for a moment. So what were you guys say? Let me see. What do you guys have to say about all those financial results here? Please don't come on camera.
I'm putting this on your head.
Jeez.
Wait, you don't want to wear these?
No, I don't want to wear your panties.
Why not?
I have my own on, thanks. Jeez. If you combine Pokemon Let's Go, what was that? 24.4 million units, maybe?
I'll box them to you.
You'll P.O. box your undies to me. I'm gonna go there to check it next week and be like, why is her underwear in my P.O. box? Trying to make me think of her while I'm working. Oh my gosh, things always get off kilter when my fiance decides to stop by. Mario Kart 16.5 million. Yeah, dude, crazy. How I see it is it's handheld and console. You could argue it's a tablet. So is it really 3 systems in one? No, it's one system. I've always hated the argument that Switch is dual systems because you can play it portably and on the go. I'm like, okay, I can hook my phone up to my TV. Is it 2 systems then? No, it's still one phone. I mean, come on. I know combined fans who only play home console and only played handheld console together in one place. No surprise they are selling, but okay, maybe a little surprised. Good thing tonight's a primetime game, huh? A primetime stream, huh? I already did one shot too, hun. Yeah, it's a primetime stream. All right. Let me scroll down here. People that stopped gaming for multiple years finally came back to gaming and care again, but there's more gamers than ever, so it makes sense. Twice as many gamers as there were 10 years ago, it makes sense. That's what D-Dub said. What happened? You saw the jump. It was just my fiance off camera. She was shocking me. I told her I'm streaming. She's like, okay, and then out of nowhere, oh, we're going to go out tonight. So apparently we're going out tonight. It's all good. I guess that's why primetime. I'm just starting early. All the million sellers are baby Nintendo games and shovelware phone games, aka indies. So crap Nintendo fans don't buy AAA games because they are too young to handle adult games. That's got to be like one of the worst takes of the year. Is that like the worst take of 2019, guys? Seriously, tell me, is that the worst take of 2019? He just called all Nintendo games baby games. Is it, guys, it's got to be the worst take of 2019. It got to be. Got to be the worst take. Like, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is not a baby game. I'm sorry. Like, Splatoon 2 takes more skill than half of the shooters out there. Whatever. You can argue about art style if you want, that you only care about realistic graphics. But guess what? Realistic graphics don't make you any more adult. Here's the funny thing. I see more children playing games with realistic graphics than I do adults. So what's really the kiddie? What are kids really into here? Probably. So that's just a bad take. I'm not even going to further respond to that. So he's part of it. You're the main reason it sells because of my YouTube. That's right. My 45,870 subs. Every single one of them, but one person bought Switch. Right. I'm the reason that those games are selling. Yeah, I'm sure. Sales from bots. Yeah, only bots are buying Nintendo games. All the millions. Let me scroll down here. I'd definitely be busting in you if I was her asking who used up the toilet paper. She didn't ask who used up the toilet paper. But your phone's purpose is mobile. Nintendo Switch purpose is just to play games. Like, dock mode ain't gonna work if you don't got a TV and everything else to go with it. You know, Switch is just one gaming device. It's one gaming device that you can play on your TV. That's all it is. I can play phone games on my TV too. Yeah, that's the worst. Like, I've had some trolls come in here and bash on Nintendo this year, but like that hot take immediately from Nintendo sucks. Oh my god. I have to ask Nintendo sucks. I usually don't do this. Are you like 5? I'm seriously asking. Like, are you like 5 years old? Because I feel kind of bad if I'm like just like crapping on someone who's like the same age as my kids. I went to the future and came back and learned the Switch will sell 74.87 million SKUs. To me, that would be a letdown. It has to be over 80. I hope. Platinum Games is making consoles now. They aren't doing well. Red Chaos says, I'm just happy to see Nintendo doing so well with the Switch's lifetime sales. It's at 34 point something million. It's almost at 35 million. First party games, third party exclusive games are blooming. Yeah, dude. Like, was it Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle? Finally have some raw data. There's some 2 million units. That's really good data for third party exclusive game. Unfortunately, it looks like Fire Emblem Warriors didn't hit 1 million, but oh well. Or the data's just not out there. Maybe it did, and just Koei Tecmo hasn't told anyone. Simon Stevens says, there's an argument to be made about indies and mobile games on the Switch, but the games from Nintendo are top-notch and one of a kind mostly, and I love indie games. I don't think indie games, like think about it as an example, like what Nintendo Sucks said earlier, like, crapping on indie games. I'm like, so Hellblade's an indie game. Is that garbage? Shovel Knight's an indie game. Is that garbage? Like, the amount of high-quality indie games on Switch, like Cuphead, like, it's staggering. Yeah, there's shovelware. There's shovelware on everything. It's funny, like when people bring up shovelware, they're like, "Oh, that My Ponies horse riding game." You mean the same game that's on PlayStation 4 and Xbox and PC? These shovelware games are on everything. It's not just Switch. Switch has a ton of high quality indie games, and it's not as hard to find them as people think it is. It's really not. There are so many different lists. Like, that's how Nintendo does it. Best-selling lists. Best-selling by download-only lists. Like, there's so many different lists on there that it's easy to find a ton of high-quality indie games really quickly. Unfortunately, there is a point where it gets to, where you can't, where it's a little bit harder to find them once you get past, like, 50 games or so, because Nintendo's eShop needs to be reworked a bit better to make the great games rise to the top. A user review system, Nintendo, could actually help with this, but I don't know. We had it on Wii U. Don't know why they took it away. Even though every single Nintendo game was like 5-star rated, no matter what. So you couldn't really trust the review rating necessarily for Nintendo games, but it was really nice for sorting out indie games. That's for sure. Let's see here. Scrolling down here. Remember, first of all, hello, Nate. What's up, Graphics Don't Matter Games Do? How's it going, man? Also, every time I go to college or at my transportation services for disabilities, I see people, especially kids, playing games on Switch. That's cool. I am stuck on Chapter 12 in Fire Emblem Warriors. I had to take a week off because I spent days on it, and the AI won't go where I tell them. They just stand around and get killed. Yeah, that's like a common problem in Musou games. Like, in order to beat those higher end chapters, you have to constantly switch between and take control of like every aspect of the fight. No matter what you tell the AI to do, they just don't listen very well. So you have to like go and keep switching between. Like, it gets nuts. It gets really nuts. But that's what you're gonna have to do to beat Chapter 12. You're gonna have to keep switching between characters and taking control. It's just, I wish the game didn't work that way. And thankfully, it wasn't that bad with Hyrule Warriors. But anyways, I digress. I'm just pointing out some stuff here. Cool. I'm gonna have to cut this stream short. Not done yet, though. We are not done yet. Let me at least get through all these news topics here. Because I think I still the Mario Maker 2 release date. But let me finish reading you guys' comments. He was found on Spawnwave and Player Essence. Who was? There's a lot of people found everywhere. Nintendo Sucks wasn't the only troll we are encountering. There is a troll called Mark Pogie Peterson that came out of Push Square. Like, what are they attacking Nintendo over the sales for? They fell like, what, 50,000 units or whatever short of their projected sales. Like, okay. They still sold more in year 2 than year 1. So they still had a year-over-year increase. And, like, why do we have to care how well Nintendo's doing in terms of hardware sales? It's exciting to see it do well because you hope that means you're going to get more and more games. But we already know we're getting a killer slate of games this year. So all that really matters is that it continues to sell well. Yeah, it sold less than the PlayStation 4 over the last fiscal year. Okay. Well, it's not like the PlayStation 4 crushed Switch. It only sold like 500,000 or something more units than Switch did. Like, it didn't crush it. And PlayStation 4 is on the downturn. So, like, this fiscal year, Switch is going to outsell PlayStation 4. Granted, PlayStation 4 has been on the market forever. PlayStation 5 coming up. I get it. It should be outselling PlayStation 4 in year 3. But what's interesting is we're actually going to be into year 4 before PlayStation 5 lands. Like, we're actually... If you guys think about it, like, PlayStation 5 might only be out for a year by the time Nintendo gets to the end of year 5 of Switch, which would be a normal console cycle. I secretly wonder if Nintendo actually timed the Switch very well to launch a next-gen Switch in 2021, which would be perfectly fine coming a year after PlayStation 5 and Xbox 2. I'm starting to think the timing of the release of Switch really wasn't as bad as I initially thought it was with next-gen. Just looking at the time frame of when Switch came out to, how long after PlayStation, 5 and Xbox 2 come out that Nintendo has to realistically respond, and if they plan to respond at all. Did I see the Mario Maker 2 stylus? Oh yeah, we'll get to that in a moment, Edward, but yes, I did see it. He was found on Spawn Wave and Player Essence. Yeah, I've seen him around on a few. The Nintendo Sucks guy has been on my channel on a few streams before, and I've entertained him and talked him down because I gotta admit, full up, I have some fun talking to trolls. I do. I enjoy destroying trolls. It is fun having trolls come in and spew a bunch of incoherent nonsense and then just wrecking them with facts. It is so much fun. But tonight, I don't really feel like dealing with it. I don't question the quality of certain indie games. There's a lot. There's not a whole lot of other types of games. The AAA games. It's the AAA games. It's lacking the full AAA game support, the multi-platform AAA support. That's what Xbox has. That's like the big thing Xbox has because they don't have a ton of exclusives. So, yep, that's definitely a weakness of the Switch. They don't have all the multi-platform AAA, or most of them, to be honest. They just have a few of them every year. Would I like Breath of the Wild 2? Absolutely, Column. When I say 16.5 million, does that mean 16,005,000? No, the 16.5 means 16,500,000 is how that 16.5 works. Let me see here. You have to be really super fast paced with that chapter, even if your AI doesn't die. Yeah. Those later chapters in Fire Emblem Warriors, you really gotta be quick change. You don't spend a lot of time on each character. Like in Hyrule Warriors, you can kind of tell your guys what to do, and they'll mostly listen. And even if they don't, you yourself can work through your own objectives so fast you can quickly turn around and then help out the other objectives and be fine. Fire Emblem Warriors isn't quite that. It's almost more difficult in that way. So you have to quick change. You don't spend a lot of time on any individual character in some of those later chapters. Like Hyrule Warriors, you can basically ride one character the whole way and never switch. But you can't pull that off in Fire Emblem Warriors. Maybe it's just because the AI is bad. I'm not exactly sure what the reason is, but I can only beat those later chapters by quick switching. Man, I kind of miss Fire Emblem Warriors. I never finished it off entirely. I should probably do that sometime. It was a lot of fun. There are games I don't care about, but I try to say I don't like the game, so it shouldn't. But I try not to say I don't like this game, so it shouldn't exist. Yeah. Would I buy a PC or a Switch? You can only have one forever. Oh, jeez. Forever? Neither. I mean, you're talking about forever. Switch is eventually going to die. PC is eventually going to die. Like, neither of them are going to last forever. So let's work under the presumption that whatever I buy today is going to last forever. Whatever the hardware is, right? If I get the highest of high-end PCs with the 2080 Ti's and blah, 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 right? Like, get the highest-end stuff. Or I have a Switch. And they're both going to last forever. I mean, I'm going to go Switch because Switch has all the Nintendo first-party games I want to play. So I'd rather have a Switch than a PC. But I'd rather just have both. And reality is you have to upgrade both. Now, as a YouTuber, it's easy for me to say, oh, PC, I need the PC to edit. But, like, that's not the question. You're all talking about video games. I game on both. I game on PC. I game on my phone. Yes, I do game on my phone a few times a week. I game on my Xbox One X, and I game on Switch. I game on Switch more than I game on any of the other platforms, but I do game on those platforms. And I enjoy playing games on those platforms, and there's nothing wrong with it. And I was going to get a PlayStation 4 this year, but now I might hold out for PlayStation 5 in 2020 instead of wasting... Well, it's not really wasting money, but I think I can hold out. I've been holding out on MLB The Show and a few other exclusives, and PlayStation 5 is fully backwards compatible, so I'm just going to wait for PlayStation 5, and then I can go get all the old library of PlayStation 4 games I missed, and they'll all be cheap by then, too, which will be nice. And who knows, maybe they'll have like 4K patches or something to make them run really awesome on the PlayStation 5. Because at this point, now that I know it's coming, it's going to be $400, $500, whatever it is. Well, I'll get it. I like having a wide variety of gaming flavors and gaming taste and things at this channel, because even though I cover just Nintendo and it's what I'm most passionate about, I feel like you see the PlayStation 3 back there, or the Xbox One Xbox, like I like having a wider gaming palette, because I feel like it gives me a better framework with which to talk about Nintendo, because it means I'm not just so one-sided that I don't know what's happening in the rest of the video game industry, right? Like, I don't know where graphics are going, where visuals are going, where AI is going, and, don't know about Sekiro and all. Like, of course I know about all these games. I play these games, I just don't really talk about them on the channel because they're not pertinent to the channel. But it is nice having that wider palette of games. I think it helps me frame my Nintendo conversations a bit better. Plus, there's times when you could draw cross comparisons, talk about direct competition, like at E3. Who knows? Maybe I'll try out some games on PlayStation 4 and Xbox at E3, and then I'll put up some impressions of them anyways, just because I played them, just to see what you guys think. There are far less trolls in 2018 so far. So far, Joe Schmo. So far. I want to thank Iwata for his involvement and sacrifice the development of the Switch before it was... Yeah. Okay, last thing to bring up. Mario Maker 2 release date. June 28th. And they're releasing a stylus or something you can get for it, which is cool. I think the stylus makes a lot of sense. It made a lot of sense on Wii U and on 3DS. It's going to make a lot of sense for this game on Switch. June 28th, June 28th, June 28th. Who is hyped for Mario Maker 2 on June 28th? I'm not big into builder games, but I do enjoy playing other people's creations. So I pick up Mario Maker, just like I did the original Mario Maker, for other people's creations. So I know for sure for Mario Maker 2, I'm going to give like a week for our patrons to build up a bunch of stages, and then I'm going to play them on a live stream like the following weekend or following Friday or something. And, see which stage I like the most. And who knows? Whichever stage I like the most, maybe I'll end up giving them a gift card or something. It's going to be pretty cool. I can't wait. Man. June's going to be packed. E3, Mario Maker 2, heading to July. We have Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I think there's one other game that was coming out in July, too, that I'm just spacing out on right now. Cadence of Hyrule is coming sometime between now and Mario Maker as well. Can't wait for that. I will get it. We have 2 Assassin's Creed games to hold us over, plus DLC. All right, cool. I've already pre-ordered Mario Maker 2. It's going to stretch the screen like the DS. Is it going to scratch the screen? No, it's a soft tip. Because of the type of touchscreen the Switch uses, it's different than the DS, so it's a soft tip. So no, it's one of those soft tip styluses. Shouldn't have any issues with screen scratches with it. Now, if it was a plastic one, that's different, because plastic on plastic, that's going to scratch the Switch screen, but not this. And you should be putting a screen protector, by the way, on your Switches. I always suggest everyone buy a tempered glass screen protector for your Switch. They're a few bucks on Amazon. Toss it on your Switch. You're going to thank me later. Astral Chain, I think, was that August? Is that August 2nd or August 30th? Something like that. I think it's in August, Astral Chain. I'm trying to remember that release date off the top of my head. That's a big one. That's going to be a big one. Another new IP. I tried using a 3DS stylus, but it doesn't work. No, because it's a type of touchscreen. There's capacitive and... Oh, what's the name of the other one? Why am I drawing a blank? I don't talk about touchscreen technology very much. Basically, there's like a... How the technology works, like there's a... Hard to explain. One is based on pressure. The other one's just based on movement. And the pressure one is what DS uses. It's a cheaper, older technology that our phones and nothing else uses. Like, you could take that hard plastic one and it's not going to do anything on your phone. But if you get a soft tip one, it will. And there are different hard tips, by the way, that will work on your phone. I'll give you an example. Like, this is a hard tip, but it's a specific type of hard tip that lets me write on my phone. But the DS hard tip doesn't work on my phone. Anyways, it's all different. There's so much different touchscreen technology out there. What tier do you have to be for the Mario Maker levels? Just $1. $1, make you holla. That's all it takes to get in on that action. If you guys are interested in checking out Patreon at patreon.com/Nintendo Prime. Anyways, that's going to be it for the stream. Sorry, it was going to go an extra half hour for a Q&A section, but that was before my plans got changed on the fly. I got to go get ready to go. I got to shave this lovely mug of mine, do something with this messed up hair, get some better clothes on. Love you guys, and I will see you probably sometime this weekend. We'll probably have a bonus stream this weekend of something. I don't know, playing a game. Otherwise, I'll see you again for the next Nintendo Prime Live on Monday. We obviously will have videos coming out all weekend as well, because we do at least have one video come out every single day. Thank you for tuning in, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.